Courte 437.
And Ashley.
And today we have a very special episode, but also kind of a somber episode. We have to talk about Labyrinth Zone.
Oh,
Sonic
no.
1 turns 35 years old today. And that is a huge milestone, but it's also really funny. My parents grew up during the era of Sonic, so it's just really funny to see me covering this when they grew up playing the games. And I eventually bought my own Genesis. But today we're going to be talking about the first Sonic game. All the stages, special zones, and just a brief history of the Blue Little Guy to celebrate the big 35. Which is also the same age as Courte.
well, fuck you too, JCR.
Yeah.
She's great today.
What can I say? I'm a funny man. But we all know the story of Sonic. He was meant to compete with the big fat Italian boy in that Nintendo has, and he succeeded. The Sega Genesis outsold the SNES for a Christmas or two, and Nintendo decided to lock in. Yeah, that's the big rivalry is between Mario and Sonic, and without Mario, there is no Sonic. But Sonic 1 came out in 1991, and it's still to this day the highest selling Sonic game of all time. I think that kind of helps when you're a pack-in title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of happens with a lot of games, actually, that are packet titles.
Hey kids, you want to know why Wii Sports sold as much as they did? Because it came free with the Wii. People like free shit.
True, although Wii Sports also was just good in general. It had that go for it, at least.
Yeah. Sonic 1 is kind of overshadowed because of like the criticisms people have, which we're going to get into. But let's start off with the stage that everyone and their mother and their grandfather has probably heard about, Green Hill Zone.
Yeah, this is the zone that started it all. Like we would not be here if it weren't for this game and this level, this zone. So yeah.
Quite literally John Sonic level, you could say.
Yeah. Green Hill. I think it's up there. I think the first two Green Hill zones, even the third one, are up there with Mario's 1-1 as one of the most iconic video game levels of all time. The music is great. I think the Green Hill theme is up there, not on like the same level, but same level as Mario 1-1. But the Green Hill's music is iconic. When you hear like the do do do, you immediately know you're listening to Sonic. But yeah, it was also one of the only forms of video game music that was in the first Sonic movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They had like a little piano that appears.
Music, didn't it?
Yeah. But Sonic 1 obviously takes place on a bright lake in South Island. The 3 acts that we all know and love. Sonic 1's Green Hill Zone is the biggest thing for Sonic, and that's the reason why it comes back in every game. I'm going to sit here and name every appearance that Sonic Green Hill Zone has appeared in. It's appeared in Sonic Jam, Sonic Mega Collection, Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, the Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, the Sonic Hedgehog Classic Collection, Sonic Generations, on both versions, Sega Ages, Sonic Origins Plus, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Super Smash Brothers, and that's all I'm going to care to name. But that's Green Hill is very iconic, and it's what this game really should have been for the most part. The biggest this stage I think is what they were trying to go for most of the game. The fast pace, like the openness. You can play through Sonic Green Hill Zone as many times as you want. You can't get bored with it because there's like so many directions and ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also definitely one of the best designed levels in Sonic games in general. I mean, it's usually one of the first levels you play, so it has to be, or else you probably lose player retention, but it does have a lot going for it.
Yeah, I actually own a Sega Genesis, and the first thing that I did when I got it to turn on was immediately boot up Sonic 1, just to like experience that. I don't have a CRTV television anymore. Well, I never had one. I tried to convince my school to let me get one of the ones they don't use anymore. They didn't give it to me. I will try again.
JCR, more like JC LARP.
The 35-year-old man is calling me a LARPer. Who am I kidding, Courte? I'm sorry for underselling you. You're 70.
I mean, I guess I kind of had it coming with that awful pun.
But yeah. The 8-bit version didn't have as many gimmicks. Yes, we're also going to talk about the 8-bit version as well briefly for the minor differences that it does have for the Sega Master System, which is still the only Sega console I don't own. I got the Sega Saturn before I got the Master System. But yeah, Sonic 1, Green Hill Zone is great. And the Eggman fight, probably the one of the more iconic, still one of the, to this day, probably one of the better Eggman fights in the series, which is sad, but also really cool.
Well, I mean, that's another thing that keeps coming back. That classic, the swinging ball fight.
Oh, okay. It is the swinging ball one. I couldn't remember if that was Sonic 1 or 2, because I remember one of them had the drill car, and one of them...
That was Emerald Hill boss from Sonic 2.
I guess Sega likes to just throw Eggman's balls in our face.
Well, he is very ball-shaped, so... Not surprised he has obsession with them.
The podcast of disaster, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, in the comments below, tell us... No, I'm not going to make that joke. Thank God I stopped myself. But moving on to the next zone, it's everyone's favorite zone. Marble Zone.
I mean, I can tell you this zone has my favorite soundtrack of the game. Like, this is my favorite song in the game. I love the do 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 do. There's some really good melodies in this song. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is actually our first differentiation from the 8-bit and the 16-bit. Instead of Marble Zone, they had a Bridge Zone as the second level. Bridge Zone. It's basically just Green Hill, but not as advanced, because remember this was on the 8-bit console.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of hard to do. But Marble Zone is the most one of the more rage-inducing ones, because Sonic becomes, instead of like this fast game, it becomes a generic platformer for us sometimes, because you have to move stuff around, you have to navigate the purple fucking worms that I hate. The three most things I hate the most in Sonic. Number 1, the Zeddies. Number 2, the purple worms. Number 3, that one issue of Archie Sonic that was very weird about Sonic and Bunny. Those are my top 3 least favorite Sonic things.
What did the Zeddy do to you?
I hate Lost World with a passion.
I think everybody hates them, though. I'll say that.
I like Lost World. I'm pretty much the defender of disliked Sonic games for the most part. I vibe with Lost World and Colors. It's probably nostalgia bias.
Well, Colors is my favorite game, so we can agree on that.
I do at least refuse to play 06, though. I've seen enough bugs from that game to not even want to experience the nightmare of it.
Anyway, back on topic.
Yeah. Marble Zone, I do agree. I love the music for it. The symphony rendition is beautiful. I went to the Sonic Symphony and I was like, it was great to hear it. Marble Zone has also some of introduces new gimmicks, with the lava and stuff. I hate the lava, but they do try to make up for it by giving you a little bit more of the shield power up. But at the same time, it's oh my god, those spikes, the spikes that I hate.
Yeah, the level design is also not super conducive to going fast, so it's kind of a big whiplash in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking a look at the layout, and it looks very kind of trolly, kind of you have to double back a lot. Oh, your speed's going to cause you to go flying into a spike or into lava. Is this by chance the level that has that really stupid spring that just sends you flying backwards?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the infinite why the hell is this spring here level.
Who even remotely thought it was a good... I forgot exactly how the meme goes, but yeah, that's
saying why the fuck is this spring here in a game about holding right?
Yeah.
Somehow the fandom will blame Ian Flynn for this.
Even though he would not be involved with this franchise for 30 years or 20 years, whenever the heck,
years.
Whenever he started writing for Archie, I think that was his first involvement.
Yeah. But
Ian wrote for Archie?
I think so.
Yeah, it's the reason why he's still part of the franchise today. But yeah, the special zones. The first special zone is fun, but as you see in my gameplay footage that is on screen now, because I did play through Sonic 1 last year all the way through. The special zones are very annoying at times, especially trying to get the 50 rings in Marble Zone. If you pointed well, let's see, I still want to get banned off of YouTube. If you held a taser to my stomach, you are tasing me 15 times in a row before I finally get through the Marble Zone acts back to back without without dropping below 50 ranks. Or missing the thing entirely. Like I remember when I was playing it, I was like, when I finally got through Marble Zone for the first time with the stuff, I was like, oh my god, thank you. I was like, thank God, I no longer have to play the stage anymore. Oh man, like Sonic, Marble Zone definitely has some flashbacks for me. But yeah, the Eggman fight was interesting as it used the lava.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely one of the more intriguing ones. As you have to like try to make sure you don't get hit by the fireballs.
Yeah.
And, that was very annoying. For the bridge zone, we had the boss fight. Sonic won on the Master System's boss fight was very interesting as Sonic was fighting Eggman in water.
Oh.
Yeah.
You talked briefly about the special stages. Something interesting to note about this game is that there were only 6 Chaos Emeralds to collect. There were not 7 like in all future games.
6, 7.
Of course, you had to say
that. Somewhere in the distance, Floof is threatening to pound me.
He was supposed to be here, but he just didn't show up for whatever reason. So
he probably got lost from the time zones. We love you, Floof. We love you, Floof.
Looking at these special zone designs, though, yeah, I think we should call it a blessing that there's 6 and not 7 of these, because they're like, what kind of maniac decided, yeah, let's make them absolute nightmare to traverse? Like, what is this design? Like, well, I can't even tell what I'm looking at for some of these. It looks
like an Adult Swim bumper.
For real. Like, one of these looks like some like fire hydrant aliens sticking out their arm, or like a water pump or something. The other looks like a snake poorly wiggling. One looks like a pool table, but the pockets go outwards instead of down. Like, one of these is just a literal maze for no reason. Like, this looks horrendous. Like, these would not have been fun as a kid to play.
Absolutely, yeah. But next up is let's get back to the good stuff here. We have up next Spring Yard Zone. If any this isn't a sponsor, but if you want to listen to a really good cover of this, go listen to the 8-Bit Big Band's version of this Zone's music. It is one of my favorite sounding songs of all time. It is legitimately like really good. I mean, it's 8-Bit Big Band, so you know it's good. But yeah, we go from a very annoying one to a very fun zone. This introduced some of the pinball mechanics that we would see in the future games. We also had the word cope in luminous wording. I think that was a message to the players about getting through Marble Zone.
Definitely a joke ahead of its time. I don't think people started using cope until like 2013 era.
Yeah, and there's also a CPU on and up. But yeah, Spring Yard Zone was really really cool. All of like this felt like what this felt. I felt like this should have been the second stage, second zone instead of Marble. But it's really fun. And like it's really breathtaking, like visually wise. I understand it's a Genesis, it's a beautiful 16-bit console, but like even still to this day, it looks amazing. Now I will note that the 8-bit version did have a Jungle Zone instead of Spring Yard. Jungle Zone was very interesting because it's basically a very early stage of one of the future fights we will talk about. But yeah, Spring Yard was really fun. Like the amusement theme is amazing for this game, and this is like if we ever get a true Sonic Generations 2, I would want to see Spring Yard be represented from the classic games, from Sonic 1, instead of getting a Green Hill Act 2, which is something I'm thinking like if they actually do a Sonic Gens 2, that'd be something like that. But yeah, Spring Yard Zone to me is like one of the best zones in Sonic. Like out of the classic games, I would say this is a top 10 zone in the classic games.
Yeah, even just looking at the visuals, it gives a very nice, like, early, like, sort of vaporwave city line kind of deal. Kind of reminds me of, like, Vegas and casinos in a way.
I was just in Vegas.
Oh, how was it?
It was fun. Ninth place nationally for public speaking. Yeah, the egg stinger. That was the fight here, and oh my god, this one made me throw fits because the bricks would disappear and be very annoying. I cannot tell you how many times I died because of this fight. Ugh.
Yeah, boss fights where the floor disappears are usually really, really annoying to play.
Yeah.
Especially in a game like Sonic where your momentum is constantly fighting against you. It can be actual death sentences if a floor piece leaves at the wrong time.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree with you. Ugh. And for the Jungle Zone Chaos Emerald, you have to descend down the second big waterfall in Act 1. The thing with the 8-bit game, you didn't have the special zones. You just had to like find the Chaos Emeralds throughout the map.
So the 8-bit version was better because you didn't have to play it's Pachinko hell.
Yeah, the special stages in Sonic 1 were mostly just, like, bonuses. Like, you could get, like, rings and extra lives and stuff.
But you needed it for the good ending. Now we're gonna talk about everyone's favorite zone. Labyrinth Zone. Who's ready to talk about Labyrinth Zone?
Well, let's start with an interesting piece of trivia. According to, like, the files or something, this was actually going to be the second zone of the game and not Marble Zone.
Oh my god.
So,
oh my god, it would have been even worse.
Yeah, so if you think Marble Zone being the second zone of the game is bad enough, then be grateful you didn't have to play Labyrinth Zone after Green Hill Zone.
My god. Oh my god. The idea of playing Labyrinth Zone immediately after Green Hill is like eating a nice piece of chocolate cake and then immediately getting smacked in the face with like having
A stack of quarters.
eating a bag of nickels and a stack of quarters. Imagine going from eating the best meal of your life to the worst meal of your life. But yeah, Sonic has to deal with a flooded ruin that he has to go around in. But here's the thing: Sonic can't swim, so you have to deal with water physics and the anxiety-inducing water theme.
Yes, because Sonic can also not breathe for, I think it's like 30 seconds underwater. That's how long you get.
Just looking at images, I'm getting PTSD, and I don't even think I played very much as Sonic 1. I don't even know if I ever made it to the stage, but it just
Me neither.
looks trauma-inducing. Like, these spikes, I can already tell those were a major pain in the ass. I vaguely remember, like, seeing those pop up every time you try to go past them, and it being, like, a huge pain in the ass. Because you're always on a time-sensitive sprint for rings and for water bubbles so you can breathe, so... Water stages in Sonic just have never been fun, in my opinion. Like, Labyrinth Zone, Hydrocity, like, they're always...
Don't you mean Hydro City?
No, I mean Hydrocity.
Can we not do this in a Sonic 1 video?
Blue.
Can we say focus, please?
True.
But yeah, my god. Yeah, Labyrinth Zone is one of the zones of all time. My friend, when they were playing the Minecraft mod pack for Sonic, when they saw that Labyrinth Zone was in it, they blew it up with TNT.
Most reasonable reaction ever, I have to say. That's the only reasonable reaction to Labyrinth. I'm mixing them up now. God damn it.
Yeah, but yeah, Labyrinth, not fun.
At least the music sounds pretty nice, though. I mean, then again, all of the Sonic 1 music is pretty good.
Yeah, but the boss fight, you have to, it's unlike any other of the boss fights. You have to run up vertically, full of traps. This feels... I mean, this is the worst Eggman fight in the first game, because you have to pretty much jump up in a auto scroller, and it is very, very annoying. Hence why my friend blew it up in Minecraft.
I don't think you even actually end up fighting Eggman like directly either. I think when you get to the top, he just flies off, and that's how the stage ends.
Yeah, Blue Ball's the Sonic level.
It looks like it's a very trolly kind of chase with how these traps are positioned. Not to mention, Sonic doesn't really have the best air momentum unless he had momentum to begin with, so trying to navigate around this is extra annoying looking.
Yeah, very, very annoying. Ugh.
Did the technologically struggling 8-bit players have to deal with this level at least, or were they also
They did.
cursed?
They were cursed with
Oof.
8-bit Labyrinth Zone.
Oof.
But their boss fight seems a lot more reasonable from the sources in the videos I've watched. It's just Eggman popping out of one of 5 openings, and you have to he launches a homing torpedo, and when he pops up, he's gonna fire some flashing projectiles, and he can only be damaged when it attacks. That sounds way better. Why couldn't Sonic the actual game have 16-bit game have that boss fight? That sounds way better.
That actually kind of reminds me of how battling kind of worked in Sonic Spinball, of all things.
Yeah. Whatever you do, though, don't mention Sally Acorn to Sega. They will explode you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have a lot of people's favorite zone besides Green Hill, Starlight Zone for the 16-bit version.
Yeah, because this one actually, once again, like after Spring Yard Zone didn't really have that much speed focus, and obviously Labyrinth definitely was more like a platforming and stuff. And obviously, we talked about Marbles on. This is the first level where it feels like you really do get to go fast again.
Yeah. Spring Yard, you had moments where you could go really fast, but I agree. Starlight feels amazing to me, and like it's so shocking that it comes after that level from Hell. But yeah, like I
Dude,
I remember
Incarnate Hell.
crying when I finally got to Starlight, because Starlight is beautiful. The music is great, and it's great at calming down the player after experiencing rage bait the twin levels back to back.
However the song goes, it's a really nice song.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I love it so much.
That's probably my second favorite track in the game, behind the Marble Zone theme, I'd say.
Yeah. To me, besides Green Hill, this is the second best level, and I think that's like unanimous.
Well, I was talking
Personally, I'm
about the
happy
music.
to see these funny little bomb ball Robotniks. Or Badniks, not Robotniks.
Pingus.
But yeah, they look very cute, but at the same time very dangerous. It's for being one of the few Badniks I can think of off the top of my head. It's not shaped or resembling an animal, but they definitely do retain the sort of cute yet menacing look that those Badniks have.
The 8-bit players had a very interesting one. They had a Scrap Brain next instead of Starlight. Scrap Brain is the next level in the 16-bit, but 8-bit players had to get this one first. The 8-bit version is very interesting, as it's very ominous. It's the center of Eggman's operations on South Island. It's very polluted, very gray and stuff. And it's very very somber, but it's a very solid level. But to wrap up Starlight Zone, we have the big one, the boss fight. The boss fight in this one is it's way better than the Labyrinth Zone boss fight, but I would say it's slightly worse than the Scrapyard Zone fight. Just because the
You mean
iron
Spring
balls.
Yard Zone? Or
Spring Yard, that's what I meant to say.
so we
Sorry.
haven't gotten to Scrap Brain, which is the last.
Spring Yard. Scrap Brain was on the mind, but yeah, this fight is very interesting because you have to get the ball in the right place. Again, Sega, stop talking about balls to me. I'm negative 15 when this came out. Stop talking balls to me.
So there's these seesaw thingies that you have to bounce the bombs up to Eggman using. It's a pretty interesting fight.
Yeah, but also very annoying if Newton's laws of physics don't go in your favor. Next up is Scrap Brain Zone for the 16-bit version.
And this is the final main zone of the game.
For the 16-bit players.
Yeah.
Yeah, this zone is very interesting. And you can see a lot of this in Wacky Workbench. But this is the very metal zone. and you have to deal with a lot of pipes, lights, and it's very nuts. Actually, only have two to cover for this zone.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because we'll get to that dreaded third act in a minute. But Scrap Rain to me is very, very cool. As we mentioned with the previous one when we got to the 8-bit version. To me it's very menacing. It feels like a Mario Castle level. I think this is the most underrated zone in the first Sonic games. It's sad that we only get two versions of it. Two acts of it before we get to the third act. Which is infamously just Labyrinth Zone Act 4.
Pretty much. I mean, it's not called that, but it might as well be.
Yeah, like the amount of anger that it had. Like, I hate it so much that I don't count it a part of Scrap Ring because of just how different it is.
I will say, though, Scrap Ring does remind me kind of like Sonic Underground. Like, it looks like very roboticized. Like, a lot of this, like, buildings I'm seeing and, like, the backgrounds and artworks is, like, spewing fire, kind of like oil rigs. It looks very industrial, like, very, like, hostile robot takeover.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because again, this is the final main zone of Sonic 1, so naturally, this is the level where Eggman says, "I want Sonic dead at all costs." So yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely the thing. But for the 8-bit, this will be the last time we talk about the 8-bit version of Sonic 1. This was Skybase Zone. This was the final act in the Sega Master System version. It's the sixth and final zone, and it's basically kind of like a pseudo airship level. There's 3 acts, and you basically have to take care of Eggman while he deals with a teleporter. It is very very interesting, and I think it's something like if you have a Sega Master System, or if you have Sonic Origins, you can play the Master System version. I've been thinking about playing the Master System version. I'll probably do it for a stream in the future. So join the podcast server, and while you're at it, subscribe to the Podcast of Disaster. Ad roll out of the way. It's very interesting, and in Act 2, Sonic doesn't have any rings to protect him throughout the level. And I think that's a very interesting thing, because we actually see that concept reused in the final fight of Sonic 2, where Sonic doesn't have the emeralds. And Act 3 is the fight where he it's kind of like the opening fight to the final boss, which we'll get into in a minute. But it uses lightning, and you have to like dodge Eggman. And yeah, that was all of Sonic 1 8-bit version. And now let's turn our attention to the final piece of Resistance. Notes.
Okay, are we talking about like the final boss of the Genesis version?
We're talking about the final level. We're talking about the final level for the Genesis version. We have Final Zone, which is the final round of Sonic 1 shenanigans. Final Zone has Sonic face off against Eggman. This also started the running gag of Eggman briefly outrunning Sonic. You basically have to touch Eggman through these like very weird containers that are very annoying to hit.
Well, I mean, it is the final boss, so of course it should be like challenging.
Challenging, slightly annoying. Perfect final boss design. I do think that it's very intriguing on just how interesting the fight is. Just like how well, I think it is well designed because you have 3 different things you can be, and you have to like time it perfectly. If there's 4 different things, correct? Excuse me, and you have to time it correctly. If not, you get squished into hedgehog juice. But yeah, Final Zone was it's very fun to get through it, and yeah, that was Sonic 1. It ends off with Sonic defeating Eggman. There's 2 endings. One where Eggman juggles the emerald that you didn't get, and the one where Sonic jumps up to the screen with flowers everywhere. To me, Sonic 1 definitely has some spots that definitely didn't age well, but I would still say it's a pretty solid game, and it does hold up today relatively well.
Once again, we would not be here like without this game. You know, obviously they kicked off the whole franchise, and every game that followed built off of the groundwork of this game. So yeah.
And obviously, there's some things that aren't in this game that are missing. Obviously, Supersonic. There was only, as we've talked about throughout this episode, there was only 6 Chaos Emeralds instead of 7. So Sonic couldn't go Super. So it is interesting. I really wish that that it got explored more. But Origins does have a cutscene which shows off the 7th Emerald, which plays in the future with Supersonic, and we all love Supersonic. Origins did a great job of giving out a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm excited for the future of the franchise if I was in 1991, because I can see why Sonic came around and how it stuck and how it kicked off everything. So a happy belated birthday, Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Here's to 35 memories of speed, thrills, excitement, whatever, yeah.
Killing dogs.
Yeah.
And allowing me to make old jokes at court for the rest of the time.
Screw you.
But yeah, it was very fun to look back on this game and just like how vital it was to not only gaming but just Sega as a whole. Because without this, who knows? Mario may get complacent, and maybe we're talking about how Mario had a rough transition to 3D instead of Sonic. Yeah, but yeah, that's Sonic 1. As always, thank you for watching the podcast of Disaster. As always, be good to yourselves, others, and mothers, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cut.